I'm Dakalo and I welcome you to the final episode of our Mental Health Awareness and Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness series. It has been such a wonderful experience putting this entire series together, and the feedback received from you guys has just been so amazing. So I'd like to take the time to thank every single person who has watched, who has liked, who has commented, who has subscribed, and even shared with other people. It truly means a lot to me. So this is the end of our series, our October series. I will see if it happens next year and the year after, but yeah, it's the end for this year. And I just thought to conclude it, let's just summarize it in a way that everyone will walk away from this still remembering about mental health. And I thought, what better way to help us remember than to liken mental health to physical health, as physical health is something that we all understand way more than mental health. So I'll just be going through like 4 points regarding physical health, like that, liken the two to help us understand. So the first point is, it's not always visible or clear. In physical health, a person might have cancer, like depending on what level they're at in the cancer journey, and it might not be visible. They might know that they have cancer. They might be suffering the different things that a person who has cancer goes through, but we on the outside might not know that they're suffering because we can't see it on the outside. So in the same way, a person around us, we ourselves might be having a mental illness, or we might not be mentally healthy, and people outside, it might not be visible or clear to them that we are suffering. So basically, I want us to walk away from this knowing that even if it's not visible or clear to us, it does not mean that the person around us is not suffering from mental illness. So when dealing with each other, can we be mindful of that? The second point is, it doesn't always look the same. So in the physical health space, it's broad, the spectrum of physical illness is pretty broad. In that, I mean, a person might just have the cold, you might just have flu, and someone else might have sickness so severe that it leads them into ICU. Both of them are sick, but the level of sickness is different. The level of sickness is so different and broad. In mental health as well, it's the same. A person might have mental illness that seems so mild, and someone else might have it in such an extreme way. Both people and everyone in the middle need to take it serious and need to take the necessary precautions for the level of mental ill health that they are at. For example, you might be sick and your sickness might require you to just sleep for the day. It might require you to go to the clinic or hospital or see the doctor. It might require you to just go to a Discam or a Clicks and just get off the counter medication. And it might also require you to call an ambulance because it is an emergency. Whatever level it's at, you need to take the necessary precaution for your health. And I'm just saying we need to do the same for our mental health as well. The third point is, it doesn't warrant judgment, condemnation, or stigmatization. When we learn that our family member or colleague or neighbor was sick and they had to sleep the whole day, or they had to go to the clinic, or they had to be collected by an ambulance, we don't laugh at them. We don't judge them. We don't stigmatize them. We don't condemn them for being sick and for taking the necessary precaution for their sickness. We would be silly and not normal to laugh at such a thing. If anything, what we do is, if they are sick and they are not taking the necessary precautions, we reprimand them and say, but why are you just sitting when you're sick? Why are you not taking the necessary steps in order to get yourself into good health? So we need to apply the same principle in mental health. We can't laugh at each other. We can't condemn each other. We can't stigmatize each other when we see each other taking the necessary steps or acknowledging where we're at with our mental health. If anything, we should be encouraging each other to take our mental health serious and to get to, our best mental health state. The fourth and final point is it's not all about symptoms. By that I mean you might have maybe a benign tumor that you're not aware of that has not shown symptoms externally. So you think you're healthy. However, you're not healthy because you have a tumor inside of you. Just because you are not aware of the sickness that is inside of you that is not yet showing symptoms does not mean that you're healthy. In like manner, just because you have not seen any symptoms of mental ill health and you seem to be okay, mentally okay, does not mean that you are mentally healthy indeed. So we need to, again, like Dr. Khomotso said, sometimes you go to a therapist just to check yourself out and to see, is everything still okay with me? Just like those annual checkups with the doctor to say, is everything okay? The pap smear that we do, when you go and you check if you don't have any lumps in your breast to see if you don't have cancer, because just because you don't see it does not mean that you don't have it. So we need to live with an attitude. And with that said, I'm going to go through the 4 points again. The first one, it's not always visible or clear. The second, it doesn't always look the same. The third, it doesn't warrant judgment, condemnation, or stigmatization. The fourth, it is not all about the symptoms. So can we walk away from the series with these 4 points in mind? Before we conclude, let's just watch some videos of some of the people who have been watching and engaging, who are telling us what they think and understand regarding mental health. Do stick around, because after this, I have a list of places that you can go to find your solution.
Mental health is a level of psychological well-being or the absence of mental illness. That means that is when a person is actually functioning well in relate to emotions, so you're emotionally well.
And these factors include but are not limited to our genes, or should I say genetic material, our upbringing, our life experiences, and also the environments that we find ourselves living in. This continuum has 2 ends to it. It has a negative and also a positive. The negative including mental disorders.
Okay, a tricky one. But to be honest, I would say no. Basically, I believe that most of us were actually going through depression, anxiety, and or low self-esteem, which can be caused by various things that are happening in our lives. So I think I'm one of that person that is actually going through one of those, or if not all, if not all. So basically, I believe that I'm not there yet.
I fall under the people who are considered to be mentally unhealthy. I say this also because I've been suffering from anxiety. I've been suffering from depression myself. I've been suffering from lack of self-confidence. I've been unable to express my feelings fully to others. I've been suffering from hopelessness and helplessness and eating disorders, which is not good at all.
So first of all, I believe that it is encouraging to see that most people are actually paying more attention to mental health and are becoming more aware of mental health, specifically because most people were basically focusing on the physical health. But right now, more people are becoming more knowledgeable when it comes to mental health. So some of the things that false statement that I hear people saying that mental disorder to see is a lifelong situation that you go through, or something that is very difficult to treat. And most people will actually say that psychologists or therapists, they actually take long to assist you because some people believe that they go through your childhood and all those things, which I believe that those are not true. It's just that sometimes when it's a process that you go through, but the therapists are more trained and they understand how to actually give you the proper diagnosis depending on the issue that you are facing. So those are some of the incorrect information that are there and people that are spreading. So it's more important that to know that each cases can be dealt with in a different manner.
And some of these myths is that mental health problems do not affect children, which is not true. It does affect them. Another one is that people with mental health problems are violent and unpredictable, which is not true in most cases. And another one is that mental health problems is a sign of weakness. It takes great strength to be able to fight a mental condition and come out victorious. There is no weakness there. Another myth surrounding therapy is that therapy is only for people with serious issues, which is not true. No matter how little people may make out your issue to be, as long as you feel that you need therapy, you need to talk to someone, you need guidance, go get yourself therapy. Go get yourself some help from a professional. Okay.
Yes, most definitely. I would consider getting therapy because this is simple. When you have emotional issues, so you need to see someone that has more knowledge with regard. It's the same thing when you're having a problem with your car. You see a mechanic. When you need an expert in law, you see a lawyer. So if you're having issues such as anxiety, low self-esteem, or other things that you believe that are troubling you psychologically that you are unable to deal with by yourself, so therapy is the way to go, and that is why I would actually consider going to a therapy. Thank you.
I think that I would personally go for therapy because I feel there's a lot that I cannot talk to my friends or my family about, because even though I might consider talking to them, but I feel I won't be able to get the guidance or the exact help that I might get from a professional. Someone who has knowledge, a deeper knowledge than myself or any of my family members or my friends might have. So I feel it's better to talk to someone who will be able not only to listen to me, but also to give me advice and also to guide me in the right path so that I can come back to myself and be happy again. So having said that, and in the words of Laurie Anderson, and I quote, "When people don't express themselves, they die one piece at a time." End quote. I hope you enjoyed our little session. Hope to see you again soon.
Thank you so much for sticking around, and thank you both, Dakalo and Tshepang, for your input regarding mental health. Whatever your input is, whether you agree or disagree with them, agree or disagree with me, leave your comment in the comments section below. As promised, I have a list here of some institutions that you can contact that are very cheap or completely free. The first one being FAMSA. So this one you're going to pay, but it's at a reduced rate. The second one is Ububele. So these ones offer free solutions for all the residents of Alexandra. And if you're not from Alexandria, you can still contact them and you will get solution at a reduced rate. The other one is Johannesburg Parent and Child Counseling Center. These ones offer help at a reduced rate. Mthonjeni Center at Wits University. This is at a reduced rate. PsyCAD at University of Johannesburg at reduced rates. SADC, it's a telephonic counseling resource that is completely free. Hope House, which is in Cape Town, and it offers help for people with addiction, and it also offers counseling support. It's both free and at a reduced rate, depending on your financial status. The Woodstock Counseling Center, also in Cape Town, it offers short-term individual therapy at a base rate of 50 Rand a session. So that is reduced rate. Lifeline, which is completely free. And if you at any point in your day, in your life, feel suicidal, or you feel you need to speak to someone and there's no one for you to speak to, please ensure that you call the number, the suicide helpline, and it is free at 0800 567 567, or SMS them on 31393. So 0800 567 567, or via SMS on 31393. And with that, we have come to the end of our wonderful series. Thank you so much for joining me and for being with me every step of the way. I sure hope that this has meant something to you, that this has helped you to understand both for your benefit and for the benefit of those around you. Looking forward to learning so much more regarding other things and other topics with you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe now. Click the notification bell. Subscription is completely free. It just allows you to be informed whenever I load the next video. With that said, thank you so much for the love. Bye for now.